Hello, today I'd like to show you a few of the new features that we've introduced with JD Edwards EnterpriseOne Tools Release 9.1 that are focused specifically on improving end-user productivity and personalization capabilities. What you're looking at here is a system running Enterprise Applications Release 9.0, and on top of EnterpriseOne Tools Release 9.1. Now, to demonstrate a lot of these features, I'm going to go ahead and enter into our standard business process for order to cash. And from here, very easily launch out the sales order application. Now, the first thing you'll notice when the application comes up is that it looks different than the last releases that we've had. The color's different, the banner looks different, the fonts of the application look different, the controls such as the tabs and everything look different. And what we've done is we've actually introduced a lot of the Fusion UI principles that are going into the Fusion applications into JD Edwards. This does a couple of things. It gives us a very crisp, modern look and feel, and also keeps us consistent with other Oracle applications. The other thing you'll notice is we've streamlined the toolbar. We've gotten rid of a lot of the additional text and stuff so that it is much more streamlined and easier to work with. And we've improved a lot of the way that the controls render to make sure that they line up and aren't oversized. Now, as far as end user productivity, some of the things that we've done is try to minimize the amount of movement, mouse movement, and clicks that you have to do for an application. So one of the first things we've done recently is allow the right-click capability in the grid and in the form header to bring up dynamically the row exits. So you can see I have all the row exits available in the application with that right-click. And I was also able to very easily set up some of the favorites that I do every day. Maybe I work with configuration or availability. The way I did that was just drag and drop row exits up into a favorites area. So a nice quick way to get to those row exits. Same thing is available up in the form exits also. Now, as far as productivity goes, also, it's easy. The end user has to be able to see the information that they want to see. So we've introduced a lot of capabilities for dynamic grid capabilities to be able to move fields back and forth and such, and to be able to rearrange and reorganize your grid information. So here's an example of maybe I want to see the quantity over a couple more columns. I can just simply drag and drop that. Or perhaps there's fields that I don't want to see, like the hold code is not of importance to me. I can hide that. Maybe the revision number is not of importance. I can hide that, or revision reason is not important. I can hide those. So I can change the grid the way I want to look and feel. If I want to get some of those hidden fields back, I can just easily right-click, hit the unhide button, and then those are shown up into a list where I can go ahead and select those and have those displayed back in the application again. So very easy, very intuitive way to be able to modify the grid. Also capabilities to be able to resize controls. So here's an example of maybe this description is a little bit longer. I want to reclaim some space in my application. Go ahead and do that very simply there. Last thing in the grid I'll show you is the ability to freeze columns. This is much like what you do in a spreadsheet where you have the most important information on the left-hand side. You always want to be frozen, and then have the right-hand side be able to be scrollable. In order to do that, you can just go onto the header of the column that you want to freeze. You right-click, hit the freeze button. You see the blue line there, and then now you can see that you can scroll to the right-hand side of the screen, and the left-hand information is left in place. Now, the interesting aspect about this is if this is an entry grid, this frozen blue line also acts as an auto return. So it helps in speed data entry. So if I was entering in data, when I tabbed and hit the blue line, it would automatically return to the next row, first column. And that really aids into a lot of capabilities where people are doing heads down data entry. And of course, with all these capabilities, you do have the ability to do a one-off change and throw it away. Maybe you just want to look at this one time, and you don't want to have this format look that way all the time. Or you can save it very simply by hitting the green disk over here to save the grid format. It prompts you for the format name. I'm just going to call that my format. Hit OK, and then that will save that off into the system, and it'll be available. So when I come in later on, I can take a look at this format, or I can toggle back to any of the other formats that I'd like to see. So this is a quick run through of the few changes that we've made into EnterpriseOne Tools Release 9.1. Keep your eye out for other videos that are showing you things about how we've improved graphical navigation, enhanced query capabilities, and some of the management features in EnterpriseOne. Thank you for your time.